Okay everyone, welcome to day 2, abundance. So today we're going to talk about the thing that you don't like, which is scarcity, and the thing that you do like, which is abundance. So Michelle is an expert on this, and I've up-leveled my abundance mentality so much through meeting her. So I want everyone to know everything that she knows.
Thank you, John. So maybe we should define abundance. Abundance it's a process. It's an embodiment process, and it's how we materialize all of this amazing work that we do within ourselves. This is abundance it's the way in which we get our fruits in the world. And I know that a lot of light workers are in the position, and you're probably in the position where maybe you've done so much work and you've done a transformation and you've changed so much within yourself, but maybe you have little to no fruit to actually show for it. And if that's the position that you're in, that's definitely the position that I was in for years. I think like 4 or 5 years I spent doing an incredible amount of inner work, and I really had no fruit to show for it. I remember it was confusing. It didn't make sense. And part of it was just respecting my process, because the way things have turned out is better than I could have ever imagined. But another part of it was understanding, and we'll talk about this at the end of the video, some of the keys to really begin to unlock your abundance. I want to talk about that at the end.
The mantras, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I was thinking that we wanted to share a little bit about our own stories with abundance and what that's looked like for us. And let's go into personal stories, and then we'll talk about some of the technical ways that I can help people with this. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the core things that we've both had to learn. And for me, one of the core themes that I had to learn over and over and over again, and I know that this is a theme for a lot of light workers, is that it's okay to have certain desires. It's okay that maybe you're being guided in a certain direction. It's okay. And sometimes we have to learn that. For me, my abundance journey has been about learning to trust my desires. To trust my desires, to trust that I'm not bad.
That's such a good point.
Yeah. Trusting my desires. Yep.
Your desire contains within it the mechanism to fulfill the desire.
Yes.
Right? So if you have the desire, then you can fulfill it if it's one of those types of desires.
Yep. And so I think that, there's a discernment. It's we don't want to act on shadow. We don't want to act on ego. We don't want to act. But I'm talking for a lot of light workers, you guys, that there is this epidemic of people that have desires that are in the light, but are being judged and condemned and maybe pushed down or repressed or oppressed. And so I want to just say this right outright, and to give you guys your permission slip to really take a look at, what do I actually want?
Yeah. And maybe you want some luxury. Maybe you want some luxury in your life. I know for me, when I started teaching at a meditation center, it was in a town that was pretty well off, and then I went to a different town to teach once a week, and that town was just so abundant and wealthy, and I just started to get this sense I actually really enjoy the luxury vibes of this place. It's very beautiful. People have the super nice cars. It's not like I needed a nice car, but I was able to enjoy that experience more, right? And there's a refinement there.
And so get honest with yourself about what is your body and your heart saying this is a match.
It's okay to want that. It's like wearing beautiful clothes, right? It's fine. It's something that's worth exploring and even creating for yourself. And that's an abundance mindset, which is I can have this. I can have this luxury. I can have this experience. I can have this beauty in my life. And you don't have to repress that. You don't have to push that down and think, oh, I'm not worthy of this. I shouldn't do this. I should be more pure. I should be able to live a simple life with no frills. That's the experience of the past.
That's a poverty mindset.
That's a poverty mindset. Maybe in previous lives, we were like that, and maybe for a season it's okay, right? I went through a season of this life where I was like that, and that's okay.
We let go of attachments, and that's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's like, yeah, you're purifying, you're in the cauldron, you're in the mortar and pestle, you're kind of alchemizing and getting more pure, which is good. And then after you go through that kind of experience, and we like to talk to people who've already been through that kind of dark night of the soul, and they've already been purified quite a bit. You know, this is kind of who we love to work with. So you're probably one of those people if you're watching this. And just to know you've already been purified a lot, and now you can start to step out and experience some true abundance if you wish. It's okay for you. Yeah, it's actually more challenging to keep a pure mind around external enjoyments than it is to not have them all, right? And so it's going to be a journey for you to actually increase your capacity to enjoy these things in a pure way, and to have these beautiful things in your life without getting distracted by them or getting tainted. You have to, it's a mindfulness practice, but you should take that challenge if you wish for this abundance in your life.
It's a challenge of mastery, and mastery is a good thing. You know, and what I've been shown from a higher dimensional perspective, and how it relates to this, is that a lot of you guys, a lot of light workers are being attuned, and that these desires are part of that GPS system that are driving you directly to a station. Boop. Okay? And that station is perfectly designed to help you have maximum impact, maximum connection, maximum experience of being able to connect with your clients and to thrive. And for some people, it's going to be much more minimalist, and for some people, it's going to be much more extravagant. And the key is just to not judge. To not judge, to not label, to not place unfair expectations on yourself or your desires to be something else than what they are. And I know for myself, my ego got pushed to the absolute limit in this season, because it forced me to break down a lot of what I thought being spiritual was, and to connect to the actual spiritual path that I was being led into.
Yeah. For me, I'll just give a definition of spiritual that I like, so you can test it to see if you like it too. Spiritual just means that you're doing something to increase your positive minds and positive energy, and you're also working to reduce negative minds and negative energy. And that's it, right? That's what spiritual means. So if you're doing that in the context of having an abundant lifestyle, then you're being spiritual with your abundance. If you are, and that's it. And you can do that with nothing, you can do that with a lot. Whether you have a little or a lot externally has nothing to do with whether you're spiritual or not. So you can definitely learn to have spiritual attitudes and spiritual mindsets and stay on your spiritual path. You know, you can do even more really when you have a lot. There's many examples within Buddhism of kings and queens who had ridiculous influence over the kingdom, and that their spiritual practice kind of helped thousands and thousands and thousands of people very quickly, very powerfully, because, you know, they progressed on their spiritual path and their whole kingdom kind of came with them. Does that make sense? This is really, there's many documented cases in Buddhism of this happening. And so you can think like, could like a simple humble monk with nothing could have had the same impact? Probably not, right? For a season, it's a good lifestyle, but it's not the only lifestyle. There's many different types of lifestyle that you can have to combine with your spiritual practice and your serving practice, your practice of helping people. There's many different types of lifestyle to do that with. And you don't need to be the poor, impoverished helper or healer anymore. You can be the abundant one that reaches so much further and helps so many more people so much more powerfully, so much more quickly, because of the influence and the abundance that you have.
Mm-hmm. The truth is, and the reality is that when you as a light worker are poor, broke, hungry, unnourished, not getting your needs met, negative energies are thriving.
And they're actually able to attack you more easily as well.
Yes.
A lot more easily. If you're not getting the right nutrition, for example, or if you're always worried about whether you can pay rent, this gives negativity a place to come in and bother you and mess with you. And if you don't have that much confidence as well, you'll get messed with a lot. So we need to be confident, and we need to be abundant, and we need to be easily able to pay all our basic needs and wishes, right? We need to get out of survival mindset, which means we need to get into an abundance mindset, which is like, actually, I'll always have enough. I'll always be okay. I'll always have enough for what I need. That's a really beautiful mentality to step into. And for me, this precise thought made such a big difference. I'm always going to have enough. People in my life told me, two people who were doing very well in different ways, told me, you know, I've always just kind of had the thought that I was going to be okay. I was always going to have enough. The universe would give me what I needed.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I've realized at that time I didn't have that mindset. I had the opposite. Like, I was afraid of not having enough. And I just decided consciously to take on that attitude. You know, I'm always going to have enough. I'm always going to be okay. And because, you know, the people who told me that were doing very well. One of them had made millions of dollars, lost it in the 2008, 2009 thing, and then made a lot of it back, millions back after that. So he had something right in his mindset. It wasn't just dumb luck, because he did it twice, right? And the other person just was in a family system that was just very abundant, right? And she kind of stepped her way into that.
Yeah, I think I'm really feeling called to tell a story. And, you know, one of the things that we can do is we really take this ultimate leap, right? And this is really what John and I are bridging for our community, for all of you guys, is taking this giant leap into being fully satisfied, sufficient, fed, cared for, living in your gifts. I want to talk about the power of being able to look back at the leaps that you've already made, and then being able to make logical deductions about the power of the leaps that you are making now. So when I was 19 years old, I was a student at the University of Michigan. And I remember a series of events occurred. My dad died. There was some family issues, and I actually was homeless at the age of 19. And I had some family friends that took me in for a few weeks before school started. But I remember that there was a moment before I went back to school. I had nothing. I wasn't sure where I was going to live. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to even continue my education. I wasn't sure if how this was going to work out. I was facing out-of-state tuition at the tune of $40,000 a year in order to continue my degree. And I remember making a decision that I was going to figure it out, and I didn't know how, and I didn't know what it looked like. And I remember I just took the leap, and I drove back to campus, and one thing led to another, and I was led to a student advisor, and I just told her my story. I poured out my heart. I said, I don't know what to do. I just poured out my heart, and she said, I want you to meet this man. So I go and I meet this man. Well, it turns out this man was like the scholarship advisor for the school. I ended up getting everything paid for the rest of my time for my undergraduate. And so the point I'm making is that because of this experience, because this leap turned out better than I could have ever imagined, in subsequent leaps in my life, I was able to look back at that one as evidence of when I jump, things work out. When I jump, right?
Take the leap of faith, for sure.
Yeah, when I jump and I take that leap of faith, I'm being taken care of in ways beyond what I could ever imagine. And so I want you guys to begin to look back at your own timelines and your own stories and begin to pull together some of these pieces for yourself. I bet you guys have a story like that, right? Your own version.
I think we should tell the story from yesterday. So here's what happened yesterday. We went to a place called, I won't tell you what it's called, but we went to a beautiful spot around here that we need to see, and it became like a portal for us, and it was a spiritual experience for us.
It's a sacred initiation
to go there.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we were walking, and Michelle's like, okay, we should go to the water. So we walked to the water, and we kind of completed the initiation there. And then we were walking back to town, and she said, well, you know what, there's a restaurant around here. Let's go to that restaurant. Maybe we can get a taxi. And
they had reservations that were booked, and I just kept having the thought.
Well, yeah, we were told by locals, it's like they're actually booked out like months in advance. Like it's almost impossible to get a reservation there, and they only serve dinner anyway. And so she's like, you know what, let's just try.
What if they had a spot?
And so we went there, and Michelle was waiting. Can you tell?
Yeah. So I went to the restroom and I sat down, and I heard the concierge. I heard him say, Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am, that you're not feeling well. I hope that you feel better soon. We'll cancel your reservation for you. And so I just got up after I hung up the phone. I went up to him. I said, do you happen to have a reservation for tonight? And he said, oh, this family just canceled theirs.
Yeah, and so we got in, and it was the most abundant meal I've ever eaten in my whole life by far. But meanwhile, while she was doing that, I didn't know that, so I had ordered boxed lunches for us at the bar, and then as soon as she told me, we actually were able to give away these lunches to some people, which helped them a lot too. So it was just an abundance. We took the leap and it worked out. So I think maybe we should get into these mantras that we want to say, these affirmations.
I think, people. Could I make maybe one more quick point?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are looking at your own abundance stories, I want you guys to, number one, I want you to consider this concept of financial sovereignty. Financial sovereignty means that we're in a place where we know, embodied, we know the divine is taking care of us no matter what. And that's part of what this belief that John said. This is what we want to attune all light workers to on the planet, if we can, is this idea of financial sovereignty, being completely held and taken care of by the divine. And we can clear and prepare ourselves to be totally financially sovereign first by taking a look at our family of origin and what kind of money stories and abundance stories that our family had. You know, how was our family's relationship with money? And everyone's got a different story. I know people that grew up with a lot of money that have just as much work to do as people who grew up with very little, like myself. And so just understanding that we're all on our own journey, and we've all got to unpack our own backpack per se in order to stabilize in these energies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me the most basic one is the fear I'm not going to have enough, and then replace it with the positive thought, actually I'm always going to have enough, the universe will always give me what I need. And if we replace the one with the other and just hold right now, you can even take some time, if you want to pause this video, go ahead and just hold the thought, I'm always going to have enough. Whatever I need, whatever I wish for, I'm always going to get enough of what I need and wish for, and the universe will give that to me. This is a beautiful way of cultivating abundance. So if you need extra time, you can pause the video and just stay with that thought a little bit longer. Yeah, there's so many beautiful thoughts that we can cultivate. Any that come to your mind, Michelle?
Yeah, one of my favorites is that I have the money right now. Very often we think of what we need and what we require. It's always out there. I don't have the money right now. I'll have the money eventually. And what if we just started believing and knowing that we have the money right now? Suddenly the money appears. Suddenly the money, oh, I had the savings account I had forgotten about. This one actually, it really works. I really recommend it.
Amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so you can pause for a moment and just think, I have the money right now.
For whatever that thing is.
For whatever it is, I have the money right now. If you need to pause this video and stay with this thought longer, go ahead. I have the money right now. And then the last one I'd say is just the idea that you can make a living and make abundance living in your gifts. You don't have to compromise and do the type of work that you don't want to do. If there's parts of your job that you don't like, or there's just things that you're getting into that aren't aligned for you, you can just think, I'm not going to compromise anymore. I'm letting this go, and I can make a living doing what I love. I can make a living doing what is highest aligned for me. I can create an abundant lifestyle doing what I actually love to do, and not just what I think I need to do to make money. So we decide, I'm not going to compromise anymore. I'm going to make an abundant living doing what I love.
And what I was designed to do.
What I was designed to do. What is highest aligned for me? I'm going to create an abundant lifestyle for myself doing this and doing nothing but this. I can do this. I don't need to compromise anymore. In fact, I'm going to stop compromising.
And I want you to consider that you fully honor the divine by not compromising. We actually subtly disrespect the divine within us by doing things other than what we actually are aligned to be doing.
So true. And that respect and faith is our lifeline. That's what feeds and nourishes us. So we want to keep that strong. If you reject that by not believing in it, you weaken that lifeline. So just think, I'm always gonna do what I'm guided to do. I'm not gonna compromise anymore.
I have self-respect when it comes to abundance.
I have self-respect when it comes to abundance. There's no harm in having more than I need.
It benefits everybody.
It benefits everyone. There's no harm in having more than I need. It benefits everyone. With more abundance, I can reach further and farther and help more people.
I can bless people when I have more than what I need.
I can bless people. I can be more of who I really am when I have more abundance. This is my natural state, to have pure abundance. Okay, these are the main points that I want to talk about today. Hope you enjoy. If you like what we are saying and want to get more abundance in your life, you can reach out and book a call below. We're happy to talk to you and create your own abundance journey, give you some extra prosperity codes that maybe you don't have already, and we can see what it's like to work together.
This is what we do. Let's get on the phone. Let's help you see where you're still compromising and empower you to create a life that you absolutely love, living in your gifts, living in what you came here to do.
So click below, book a call now, and we hope you enjoy this video and enjoy day 3 coming tomorrow, which is unique niche selection, so you can actually figure out what you're here to do and who you're here to serve. Okay, book below and we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.